Okay, I'm not gonna spoil anything. But bro, if you have not watched this season, the beginning of this season, I just got finished with the episode 4. Bro, y'all are not ready. Y'all are not emotionally ready for this season. This is only the first 4 episodes, and they said that it was supposed to be brutal, and it's already brutal. So, that makes me a little bit worried for the future. But the amount of twists and turns this takes, absolutely insane. Ooh, okay. Okay. I will give a little bit of spoilers. It's not really big spoilers, but it kind of is. But from okay, for the most part, everyone is together, and I love that. That's what I've been asking for the big finale, the final roundabout to round out the entire show. Is that the gang is all working together. They're not divided. There's not like separate groups or anything. They are all together for the most part. The season starts off with them all together working together. They aren't it's separated in separate factions or anything. They are all together. And I love that. Bro, I loved it. This is the best season. I will also say the CGI has gotten way more crisp. When I tell you episode 4, they really hyped up, they really bumped up the CGI. I am telling you, they bumped up the CGI. And the brutality, they were not joking when they said that this season was going to be more brutal. The deaths that happen, oh my god, dude. And I was literally telling myself, you can't get more brutal than season 4. Even though realistically season 4 was not the most brutal season out of the 4, season 4 definitely had a lot more in-depth gruesome deaths than, you know, people exploded in season 3. So it's like it's not as brutal as it was like disturbing to see people's bones break and jaws break and their eyes pop out. Oh, was I wrong? And this is only the first 4 episodes, dude. We still have 4 episodes to go, and it is insane, bro. And okay, the only thing I don't like very much is how they kind of are ripping apart um, the Dustin and Steve. I won't say anything, but I assume by the end of the show, they will have a big explosion in their friendship, and then they'll be like blood brothers by the end. Assuming Steve does not die. I don't think he will die, but this would be the perfect season for him to die. But from what Joe Keery said, he said that Steve fans should be excited and will be happy with his ending. Um, and I don't think that includes a death. Otherwise, you know damn well that the fans, Joe Keery knows that if his character died, the fans would not be happy, even if they got a big memorial scene where it's like Steve kisses Nancy for the last time, and Nancy finally says, "I love you." Um, just everything. And I also will say, this is not a massive, again, not massive spoilers. This is just a small spoiler from for what to expect. Will, or no, sorry, Mike and Elle are not as prevalent as they were in the past 4 seasons. And that is fantastic. I am so happy that they kind of put Mike and Elle's relationship on the back burner. Because let's be real, this is the final season. This is the season where we're supposed to be focusing on killing monsters. And we're supposed to be figuring out plans. We don't have time for date night or make out sessions where our father can be 3 inches. Like, we don't have time for all that goofy, goopy shit. Okay, okay. I will say this season is not all doom and gloom. The first 2 episodes, I want to say, kind of are like, oh, hey, this is where we are in set time. And then see, episode 2 is like, hey, stuff's building up, but we can still have time for like personal stuff. Season or episode 3 is like, oh shit, okay, stuff's ramping up. It's season 4 or episode 4. Episode 4, y'all are not ready for episode 4. I'm gonna be honest. It, but what I will say about Derek, you guys have to watch the show for you to get your own opinion about Derek. I'm trying not to give too much away by my tone of voice and how little I'm talking about that kid, but let's just say it's what we all expected from a kid that doesn't know what's going on. But the most insufferable part about this show has to be the adults. I'm not kidding. And I'm not talking about Murray. I'm not talking about Joyce. I'm not talking about Hopper. I'm not talking about any of the main cast adults. I'm talking about the adults who try to control everything. The military, the school, just everybody who is in power annoys the absolute shit out of me. Because I mean, I get it to a certain extent, but then it's also like, you're going to kill innocent people. But then there's also like, you could explain stuff. Like, I think that's another factor that always annoys me about the show and about any media, is that if they just explained, if the main group explained what they're doing in certain situations, they could probably get help. Like the first couple of seasons, I can understand why they kept stuff under wraps, but by the final season, you think that, you could say, "Hey, we're fighting for the same thing. Will you just let us explain? We fought these things before." And you'd think, right? You'd think that they would listen, but no. Okay. There's a massive reveal. There's actually 2 massive reveals, but for the more personal side of things, like again, I'm not going to give too much away. For the more personal, like friendship side of things, there's a massive reveal. But for like the overall story, there is a massive reveal. Also, there is okay. I predict that season 4 or episode 4 is going to be a mixed bag, because there's a scene in there that I know people will just rip apart. I even was like, okay. Like I was literally that Tyler the Creator gif. Um, take that what you will. Heh, get it? But no, there's a lot more good than there is bad in this season. Just there's a couple of things that I don't like. Um, but I know that there's something that people will absolutely blow up over because it happens every season, and people are gonna find a way to absolutely demolish Stranger Things season 5, and they'll probably take that one little bit of the storyline and just run with it until the end of the season. They're gonna be like, "Oh, this and that happened, so this season's trash. It's a 3 out of 10, 3 out of 10 at best." Like, shut up. Listen, I'm not that excited about what happened either, but you can chill out a bit, okay? But the end season reveal or the end of the episode reveal, peak, bro, peak. Um, but yeah, that is my non-spoiler review. When I get into when the season is over, is when I'll give my in-depth spoiler review. I just feel like it would be wrong of me to just constantly spoil the show. I don't even want to title my video like non-spoiler or spoiler or anything like that, just because I feel like this is like the big finale. The marketing team worked so hard to push this season that I don't even want to give a spoiler review until it is over. That's how crazy it is. But yeah, um, that was my review of the first 4 episodes. Overall, overwhelmingly positive, in my opinion. Um, a 9.99 out of 10. The reason I'm giving it that high of a score is because of just those those two little nitpicks about the season so far. But overall, just very positive. But make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, and yeah, see you guys later.